My name is Dr. Ethan Moore. I am a biologist by profession and a witness by accident. What I am about to record is not a discovery meant for publication, nor a confession meant for forgiveness. It is simply a memory that refuses to stay buried, much like the world we found beneath the ice of Antarctica. The Aurora 7 expedition was officially classified as a routine geological survey in Queen Maud Land. Satellite scans had revealed irregular geothermal signatures beneath nearly 3 kilometers of ice, anomalies that suggested either unstable magma pockets or errors in instrumentation. Unofficially, every specialist involved knew the readings were too precise to be accidental. Cavities of that scale should not exist. Stable heat signatures in that environment should not persist. Antarctica is a continent designed to erase mistakes. Our team was small and deliberately chosen. Dr. Lena Volkova, paleobotanist, whose quiet demeanor masked a relentless fixation on extinct ecosystems. Professor Miguel Alvarez, paleoecologist, brilliant, volatile, and incapable of accepting extinction as a final state. Sarah Collins, geophysicist, who trusted data more than human intuition. And Noah Reed, engineer and systems architect, the only reason our equipment functioned at all in a place that punished metal, flesh, and time equally. The drilling phase lasted 43 days. Ice layers shifted from deep blue to chalk white, then to something brittle and translucent. Air pockets appeared where none should exist. Gas samples showed trace oxygen. Then came the pollen. Pollen preserved under pressure that should have pulverized it into nothing. Lena stared at the microscope for nearly an hour before speaking. She said calmly that the ice was wrong, that it preserved life where no preservation should be possible, that whatever lay below did not obey the rules we had built our science upon. When the drill finally breached the cavity, alarms flared and died simultaneously. Warm air surged upward, not steam, not chemical vapor, breathable air, and beneath us a diffuse, steady light. We descended through the shaft on reinforced cables, our headlamps rendered useless by the glow rising from below. With every meter, the temperature climbed. At 500 meters beneath the surface, my suit registered 12 degrees Celsius. I remember laughing uncontrollably, then realizing tears were freezing inside my helmet. The cavern opened beneath us like the inside of a living lung. Forests stretched across rolling terrain. Rivers cut clean paths through soil untouched by erosion. The ceiling disappeared into mist, illuminated by bioluminescent particles drifting like clouds. The entire system breathed slowly, rhythmically. Then something moved. Small shapes darted through the grass. Winged creatures fluttered between branches. A herd crossed a river in perfect formation. Miguel whispered a single word, ceratopsian. He was correct. The anatomy was exact. Horns, frill, posture, all precise, all impossible. The animal was no taller than my knee. As we descended to the valley floor, the truth became unavoidable. Everything was reduced in scale but flawless in design. Conifers no higher than 2 meters. Ferns like ornamental plants. Insects resembling giants of the Carboniferous, now the size of a human hand. Evolution had not failed. It had been refined. Sarah confirmed it with her instruments. Gravity was normal, atmospheric pressure stable. Time behaved as expected. There was no distortion, no anomaly that explained what we saw. This world should not exist, yet it did, alive, observing us. By the second day, we cataloged over 100 species extinct elsewhere for tens of millions of years. Every organism showed extreme cellular density, compressed complexity. Lena explained that metabolic efficiency here bordered on perfection. Miguel called it a closed evolutionary loop, a system that punished excess and rewarded restraint. We encountered a predator on the third day. It resembled a Tyrannosaurus rex reduced to the size of a goat, feathered, agile, with eyes that tracked us intelligently. Two more emerged from the brush in coordinated silence. I felt fear deeper than panic. Then it chirped. The sound was sharp, almost curious. The pack retreated. We were not prey. That realization unsettled me more than any threat could have. The ruins appeared near a geothermal vent, stone structures arranged in deliberate circles, tools shaped from bone, crystal, and mineral composites, carvings smoothed by time, everything scaled for hands smaller than a child's. This was not instinct. This was culture. That night, I dreamed of movement beyond the firelight, of footsteps lighter than snow. I woke to the sound of laughter echoing faintly through the cavern. At dawn, they revealed themselves. Humanoid figures, no taller than 40 centimeters, slender bodies, skin patterned like bark and moss, eyes dark and reflective. They did not hide. They observed. One stepped forward and raised a hand, a greeting. Communication unfolded slowly through symbols drawn in soil and gestures layered with intent. Animals, ice, fire, time, balance. They led us to murals carved deep into the cavern walls, images of a green Antarctica, of growing instability, of ice advancing and skies turning hostile, their ancestors choosing retreat rather than war with a collapsing world. They called themselves the keepers of balance. They were not rulers. They were custodians. Faced with extinction, they chose adaptation over expansion. Through generations of deliberate genetic guidance, they reduced life itself. Smaller bodies, lower consumption, closed cycles, perfect equilibrium. Extinction was not fought. It was dissolved. The murals darkened toward the end. Ice cracking, heat rising, pressure symbols multiplying, tall figures descending from above with drills and fire. Us. Sarah's models confirmed the danger. Our shaft had destabilized the ice ceiling. Microfractures spread with terrifying speed. Exposure to the surface would annihilate the ecosystem within weeks. Tension fractured our team. Noah argued for preserving proof. Miguel believed humanity needed to see this world. Lena refused to allow a single specimen to leave. Voices rose. Trust thinned. The keepers did nothing. They waited. The crisis came suddenly. A tremor split the cavern. Ice collapsed near the river. A panicked predator lashed out, injuring Noah before fleeing. Blood soaked into the soil. That ended the debate. Saving them meant erasing ourselves. No samples, no coordinates, no evidence. Noah reprogrammed the charges for controlled ice fusion. Sarah recalculated collapse vectors until exhaustion overtook her. Miguel deleted his recordings. Lena returned every collected fragment to the ecosystem. I encrypted the data. Then I destroyed the key. The keepers gathered as we prepared to leave, hundreds of them beneath the fading glow. One placed a carved symbol in my hand, a tree beneath ice, roots wrapped around the world, memory, balance. As we ascended, the cavern sealed. Ice flowed like liquid stone. Warmth vanished. Light faded. The last thing I saw was them standing together, small, enduring, alive. Officially, the Aurora 7 expedition discovered nothing. Instrument failure, geological instability, false readings. The site was abandoned. The aftermath was worse than the descent. Interrogations, psychological evaluations, silence enforced by contracts thicker than conscience. Years passed. The climate shifted. Antarctica changed. Sometimes satellites detect faint, stable heat signatures deep beneath the ice. They are always dismissed. I still carry the carving. Beneath Antarctica, life learned that survival is not about dominance or scale. Sometimes it is about knowing when to become small and when to remain hidden. I believed that silence would be enough, that by sealing the cavern, by erasing our data, we had ended the story. I was wrong. 7 years after Aurora 7, I received an encrypted message from Sarah Collins. One line, no greeting. It's back. Satellite networks had improved, resolution increased, noise filtered out. What once looked like random geothermal fluctuation now appeared as rhythmic thermal stability, too regular, too precise. The signal pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat beneath the ice. Miguel wanted to speak. He never did. He died 2 years earlier, officially from heart failure, unofficially from refusing to let go of what we had buried. Lena vanished from academia shortly after the expedition. Noah walked with a limp and never returned to the polar regions. Sarah and I met in Reykjavik, far from Antarctica, far from oversight. She showed me the models, ice thinning, pressure redistributing naturally this time, no drilling, no intrusion. The cavern is rising, she said, not physically, climatically. If the ice continued to retreat, the hidden world would face exposure without warning. The keepers had survived by shrinking, by hiding, by waiting. But this time, the threat was not sudden. It was slow, predictable, human. We had weeks, maybe months. Returning was impossible. Any expedition would leave a footprint too large to ignore. Any intervention would repeat the same mistake. So we chose a different solution. We leaked nothing. Instead, we manipulated everything around it. Sarah altered climate models. I fed biological noise into public databases. We redirected research funding, exaggerated instability in neighboring regions, created reasons for satellites to look elsewhere. It was not elegant. It was not clean. But it worked. The signal vanished beneath layers of manufactured uncertainty. Years passed again. I dreamed less. Then one night, the carving in my drawer cracked. Not broke. Cracked. Along its surface, faint warmth pulsed briefly, then faded. I don't know if it was coincidence. I don't know if they knew. I only know that somewhere beneath the ice, life continues to choose restraint over conquest, and that this time we learn to do the same.